Love it or hate it, if you work in an office, Microsoft Outlook is a part of your life, and learning how to be productive with Outlook is crucial to saving time. Now, what most people don't realize is you can create an email management system in Outlook that will increase your productivity, it's easy to implement, and doesn't require any third-party apps. The system only needs 3 parts to work, and that's how to properly use categories, using search folders, and creating rules. And in this video, we'll show you how to create this system, and the best part is it only takes a few minutes to build. Now, before we get into things, in this video, we'll be using the classic Outlook, mainly because Microsoft is currently rolling out a new version of Outlook. And, well, let's just say the new version has not been met with the most welcoming of receptions. Although, if you're a fan of the new Outlook, later on in this video, we'll jump into the new version and show you where you can find the counterparts of the main topics that this video covers. All right, let's get into it. Let's kick things off by talking about a subject you think you know well, and that's using Outlook categories. But let's see if we can give you a different perspective and show you how to build an email management system that uses categories as its foundation. Now, most people often use categories to create generic labels and then assign the label to an email. For example, you might categorize an email as being from a vendor, a client, a particular project, internal team, etc. But in our case, let's start to build our system by using categories in a different way. Here's how it works. First, let's talk about email in general. If you think about it, you can break email into 3 basic types. The first being an email that you and you alone are responsible for. The second type are the ones you might need to work collaboratively or require involvement from other people. The third is a more generic catch-all type. For example, policy emails, FYI emails, newsletters, memos, etc. So bearing that in mind, we can now take those 3 types of emails and create categories to use in our system. To create our categories, from the Home tab, click Categorize, All Categories, and from here, it's just a matter of choosing the color we want to use and assigning the label. So how about we start with this red category and rename it to Critical. And as a side note, you can assign a keyboard shortcut to a particular category, and that will speed up your work even more. Next, how about we pick this yellow category and let's rename it to Collaborative or Collab for short. And last, how about we pick this green category and rename it to something simple like FYI. Okay, now that we have our categories created, let's move on and look at how we can use them. To begin, let's go back to the inbox. And as a side note, here's a pro tip for you. Whenever you start your workday, try to develop the habit of reading your emails from bottom up. The idea is that if you begin at the bottom and work your way to the top, there's less risk you'll miss or accidentally skip an email. Okay, so getting back on point, to use our categories, you want to hover over an email, right-click, and look for Categorize, and assign the category the email falls into. For example, we can make the case that this looks important, and let's label it as such. From there, it's just a matter of working through our emails and repeating the process and assigning the appropriate category to the appropriate email. The next step in building our system is to integrate search folders with our categories. In simple terms, think of a search folder as a stored or preserved search that you can go back to at any time. For example, let's say you want to find an email from a particular client. You can set up a search folder that when you click it, you'll see all the emails from that client, which eliminates you from constantly having to use the search bar. Frankly, search folders are very underutilized, so it would be in your best interest to explore them later. Yet for today, we're going to build a search folder that will show you all the emails that fall into a particular category. To create a search folder, right-click and choose New Search Folder. In the dialog box, scroll down and look for Categorized Mail, then click Choose. In the list of categories, check the box for the top level. In this case, it's the Critical category. Click OK. Click OK again. Now, if we go over here on the left and click on the search folder, we'll see just the emails that have been assigned to that category. So the next step is to create a search folder for all the remaining categories. So we'll right-click and create one for the second tier category, and then do a rinse and repeat for the third tier category. All right, so now if we click on the search folders, you can see that Outlook is showing us the appropriate emails for each appropriate category. Pretty cool. The next step in our system is to place the search folders up here into this favorites section. The idea being we can get to them and work through them quickly. To add them to favorites, you can either right-click and choose Add to Favorites, or you can click and drag them up to the top. The choice is yours. Once that's complete, we can then rearrange the items by doing a click and drag to put them in the order that we want. Okay, so the final step in this email system is to add a level of automation, and to do that, we can use something called a rule. Think of a rule as being a programmed action. In our case, we're going to create a rule that when an email is received from a specific sender, it will automatically get categorized. For example, if we get an email from the boss, we know it will always be important, so we'll want to label it as such. To create the rule, right-click on an email, then look for Rules, Create New Rule. In the window that appears, choose Advanced. Then, at the top, check the boxes with the sender's name, then click Next. The second step is where you tell Outlook what specific action to take. So, we'll tell Outlook to assign the emails from the boss to this particular category. Once we do that, you'll want to drift down here and click on the word category, then choose the specific category. Click Next, and here you can determine if there are any exceptions, which will most likely not be the case. And finally, you can give the rule a name and run it if you choose. Okay, so the next step will be to create more rules for the other categories. So in our case, we'd want to create a rule for the second tier categories and then another one for the third. So we'll go ahead and do that and just speed the process up. So now, moving forward, whenever you open up Outlook, the rules will run in the background and it will assign the category automatically, and all you have to do is go to your favorite section and work through the critical folder first, then through the second tier folder, and then the third, bearing in mind that you work your way up through the emails you've received. All right, and there it is, your automated email system. Now, granted, no system is perfect, yet hopefully you can get some practical use out of it, or better yet, create your own system. Okay, so for the folks who are using the new version of Outlook, let's take a quick peek at the main topics covered in this video and show you where to find the counterparts in a new version. We spent a good amount of time talking about categories, so in the new version, you can find the categories by looking for this tag. If you want to rename the categories, you can go under Manage Categories and then rename them in this window, along with adding them to the favorite section directly, which is kind of cool. Now, you can find the search folders over here, yet as of this recording, the search folder capabilities are really limited. Yet my understanding is this is something that Microsoft will address, so stay tuned for future updates. And last, if you want to create some rules, in the far upper right corner, you'll need to click on this gear icon to open your settings. Then on the left side, click Mail. In the middle, choose Rules, then Add New Rule. Now before you go, if you want to learn some more Outlook tips, you can check out this video right here. All right, and that'll do it for this one. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. And as usual, don't be shy about clicking on that like and share button. And we will see you next time.